Re-recording.
Ah, shit. Forgot that would mess that up.
No, it's okay.
Were you afraid we would hear you peeing again?
Pooping.
Oh.
Napoleon Dynamite didn't have any fart jokes, but Lukas did.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that sound noise?
My pooping sound.
Like a missile?
Yeah.
Well,
one of those.
After bowling, he's like, we need name tags to look official, and Kip's like, he remembers Deb at the door. He's like, oh, I know the perfect place. They go to fucking Deb's Photoshop.
Glamour shots by Deb.
She's a very entrepreneurial young woman.
She is. She is. Did you drop a pistachio?
Yeah, I don't want the dogs to get it.
But they go to her. They get some pictures taken for name tags. The pictures aren't the best headshots.
She leaned way too much into the artistry of it.
They're very 80s.
Mm-hmm.
There's a pink and yellow starred background behind him.
So they can look official. Look like they have all the answers.
I guess that's official, but now Pedro's back at school. Napoleon tells him Summer said nobody's like, what about that other girl, Deb? And he's like, what? Deb comes up, gives him a note. She said yes to go to the dance with him.
With Pedro, yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like
got Riz.
I feel like Napoleon's kind of upset about it. Like I noticed a little bit of a twinge.
That's what makes part of this movie so good, is there is like a genuine love triangle thing going on here underneath all the stupid bullshit.
Yeah.
Not bullshit, but the stupid intricacies of their characters.
Yeah. Well, yeah, she's gonna go to the dance with them, and Pedro tells Napoleon he needs a date, and he's like, you got this really good skill of drawing pictures, so you should draw a picture of a girl that you want to take and give it to her. So now it's time to draw Trisha Stevens.
Yeah, his drawing always kills me. It starts out so poorly.
He finds a picture of her in the yearbook and immediately goes, she was in the Happy Hands Club with him. She was one of the popular girls. And yeah, the start of the drawing is so bad initially because he does the outline of the chin.
Sharp. And then he does like another outline of it. And then he does her bangs, which is like Charlie Brown's hair.
The bangs are like Toy Story clouds, is what it is.
Yeah.
But
it always kills me.
He starts that, and now Uncle Rico, you see him in the salesman. He's quite the salesman, showing the customers the strength of the bulls, and even throwing in this model sailboat.
Hold on. How come my audio's not going?
Oh my god, you can buy the picture as a poster.
What?
Is my audio now? My audio's going. Okay.
On Audacity?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I'm gonna have to sync that. Wait, we should clap. Clap from 5 seconds from now. Nice. That was
good. Really good.
Thank you.
Well, Uncle Rico's quite the salesman. He shows the customers the strength of the bulls, even throws in a model sailboat into all that shit.
That's so funny. It had to be worth more than the Tupperware itself, almost.
Right? That sailboat was crazy.
Yeah.
When she goes that, the wife was like, I want that.
She does.
And the guy can't tear it. He's so disappointed he can't tear the nylon.
The wife was pissed.
The rubber. Yeah, he's so disappointed. Like, tear it. Come on. What are you doing? And then my favorite scene of the whole movie is right after this.
Is Kip, his non-salesman techniques?
Yeah, so the old native-looking lady, Mexican-looking lady, standing outside of this like poor, decrepit house. Like, why are you even in this neighborhood? So trying to sell stuff door to door, anyways. Puts the Tupperware behind the wheel of his van, backs over it, it explodes into a million pieces. He just drives off.
Dang it!
It's my favorite scene.
It blows up immediately. Did he think the Tupperware was going to withstand a car, let alone this gigantic ass van?
Yeah, well, he got swindled by the product more than anybody because apparently it's unbreakable. So he said, "I can sell this. Shoot it with a gun, it won't break." And unfortunately,
it's funny because Uncle Rico does say, he's like, I made $180 today, and Kip's like, yeah, that's right, Napoleon. I made like $60 today. Like way worse of a
more
salesman.
Than Napoleon makes.
It is.
Yeah, he makes $1 an hour.
But Napoleon, after this drawing, He drops it off at her house, Trisha's house, but she's not there. But Uncle Rico is there, and he gives the picture to her mom, and Uncle Rico the whole time's like, "Man, this guy's pathetic. He wets the bed. he still lives with his grandma like all this."
Paints him out to be a special needs kid. Therefore, the mom takes pity and says, "You're gonna have to take that boy to the dance, Trisha."
Also,
can't say no to a special needs boy.
Did he fuck that mom?
There might have been a slight implication. I don't think he was fucking the moms, honestly.
I think that was the one mom he fucked. I don't know.
What about the stronger implication is that with the old lady when on the way to the dance.
With the dance, because he's in there for so long?
And he doesn't answer when Napoleon knocks on the door. So maybe.
I think he is, but.
He's sleeping with all these women to sell his Tupperware.
To sell nylon polymers? Well.
To sell $120 worth of Tupperware a day.
But he does. He swindles her into buying things. He makes her seem pathetic. And Trisha opens up the picture. And it's just as bad as what he started.
Looks
the
like the
eyes
so far apart. She's got a mustache because he spent 3 hours on her upper lip.
He shaded her upper lip for 3 hours.
Yeah, and he says it like it's a compliment.
But it's just pure black.
It's just pure black.
It's so good. And he did that drawing.
It looks like Pedro.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
She like gags at the sight of it, Trisha does, and then her mom says, "You're gonna have to take the special needs boy to the dance." You know that, right?
Trisha's like, he's not special needs, but yeah. So Napoleon ends up realizing he needs a job, so he gets this job where he has to put 8,000 chickens into their new cages before lunch.
Yeah, and he does it by hand. And he takes 2 at a time. And he walks
4,000 trips.
Yeah, the chicken. Well, he has 3 other helper boys with him.
So there's 1,000 trips.
The chicken's
still
pecking the hell out of him on the way down there, and he smells it, and it smells gross.
Marina had the best question. She's like, "Where did he find this job?"
These are the only jobs available for ranch communities.
I mean, that's true, but.
And then the guy, at lunchtime they eat a variety of gross items for the farmers.
All egg themed.
They eat egg salad sandwiches.
It's their chicken farm.
Hard-boiled eggs and egg yolk juice.
Yeah, which only Napoleon tries. And then the guy looks for maybe half a second and says, "Well, can't find my checkbook."
He pays him a change, Napoleon. He gets $6 for 6 hours of farming work.
Which is just enough to go to the thrift store, it turns out. Where he does all this shopping.
$6 in 6 hours is horrendous.
It's so funny. Goes to the thrift store to buy something.
You're right. He does look for like half a sec. Can't find my checkbook.
Yeah.
He literally just pats his pocket.
And these were like, I'm sure, real farmers.
He was never going to pay them, but... Well, yeah, so after that, $6, Trisha calls Napoleon to reluctantly tell him she'll go to the dance with him. And Pedro's like, well, you need to get a suit. So they go shopping. They decide on the brown suede suit that's on a woman mannequin.
It's so good. He looks pretty fancy, though. It looks good.
Yeah, he looks decent in it, but not my first choice of suit.
It was their first choice.
It was. And Uncle Rico driving Napoleon to the dance, but they have to stop at a house first for him to finalize the sale. Maybe having sex with the lady that Napoleon ends up leaving, running down the road. And he runs for an uncertain amount of time. Marina says he definitely ran a long ways.
I mean, he's tired when he stops.
I think it was for like 20 minutes or something, yeah. 10 minutes worth of
running. I get tired after running for 6 minutes.
He checked his watch a couple times.
Tired of running after 6 seconds.
Now all of us can be Lukas, who used to run 8 miles through the neighborhoods of Missoula.
The hills.
I need to get running again. Basketball's over, so I have no athletic outlet anymore. So sad.
And we can't play at Sentinel together.
I try and play 21 with myself, and it doesn't work.
Without me and Jordy there?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
I always win.
I watched a Facebook reel the other day. It was like every basketball team needs one of these guys, and it was just the hustle guy that's just throwing his body around. I was like, I sent it to David. I was like, this is Craig. Craig was always just running into
He is a good
poles
hustle
and
guy. Yeah, getting hurt.
He'd end 3 for 9 from the field, but with like 12 boards and 9 steals.
And a broken ankle.
Broken ankle. Well, yeah, so he leaves, runs down the road for an uncertain amount of time when these two Mexican, like, cholo guys in Idaho pull up on him. Apparently, they're Pedro's cousins. And they pick him up in, like, this lowrider.
Yeah, because maybe the gangs he was talking about. This is kind of how that came true in the end when he said there's lots of gangs in here. They kind of wanted to recruit me. He kind of falls into this sort of Latino gang.
I had to look it up because they're like, he's like, are you like Pedro's cousins with all the whole cool hookups? And they go, Simon. So I looked it up, and Simon is like hell yeah in Spanish.
They rule. They're so out of place. When they pull up to go pick up Trisha for the dance, Dad's like, what the hell is that on my driveway?
This is my ride. So they drive to the dance, and this dance is popping with Forever Young playing, disco balls, everybody in there dressed to the nines.
This is where you know it's an 80s movie. There's Cyndi Lauper playing at the fucking prom or whatever it is.
Let's dance for a while.
And
I feel like all the decorations too make it very 80s.
They did.
Yeah, the disco. Yeah, Napoleon's like, hey, Trisha, you want to go dance with my friends over there? She's like, no. Goes to say hi to her friend. She goes to he goes to the bathroom, comes out, and she's gone. She ditched him.
Yeah.
But his bro says you can dance with Deb for a song if you'd like.
Couple songs, and he does.
Dance to some Cyndi Lauper. That's filmmaking right there. This is
time after time. And this dance is awkward, but like very sweet in a way.
Yeah, he compliments her sleeves.
They catch up. She's like, hey, if you ever want to come down to... She's like, I could give you some nice shots at Deb's Glamour or something. And he's like, oh, I would like that. It's like a really sweet, awkward, kind of endearing moment. And they dance. And she even tells him, like, he's like, are you and Pedro serious now? She's like, no, we're just like really good friends. And so you can kind of see.
It is very sweet. That's why this movie's so good, because underneath all the awkward and quirky is a very sweet, genuine story.
Yeah. And while they're dancing, Pedro goes to get water, sees a poster for class elections. Now he's running for president.
Yeah, I thought that was funny too. He just sees the poster and he's like, it's a smile. He's inspired.
I was like, how often does a first-year student run for senior class president when he joins halfway through the school year? Like, that's ambitious, but Napoleon goes home, sees a gadget on a table. Supposedly it's a time machine that they ordered online, but they haven't tried it yet. So he tries it, shocks the fuck out of his face and balls so much. And apparently they did try it because Kip lied, and Uncle Rico comes out. I could have told you that. His balls hurt so much.
And this is a good continuity too, because in the next scene they're walking to the supermarket and Rico's balls still hurt. He's like,
he's like waddling.
Yeah, and during this he just embarrasses Napoleon at the grocery store the whole time while he's buying a plunger and like 4 things of toilet paper.
Oh, we need
that.
And
he sniffs the plunger.
What happened at home?
You knew it. It's something to do with Kip. He's eating all those nachos all day long. Staying home eating.
He backed up. You're right, honey. He did sniff the plunger. I was like, why would he do that? Like, is it used?
Making sure.
Well, after that, Pedro and Napoleon are getting certified with the FFA for their presidential campaign, and Napoleon drinks bleach.
He does. This is the milk with bleach in it. They're like, you're right.
He legit drank bleach.
Yeah, I don't think these are real FFA events, but they could be. That's how close and funny they are of skewering FFA and 4-H and stuff. Because Pedro's gets certified in just counting nipples on cows.
This one should only have 4.
This one's pretty good, except for that one, yeah. Like, very nice. You're
that's
certified.
Nipple number 5. He's like, well done.
That's
You're a master. This cow's excellent, except for a 5th nipple.
That's FFA for you.
While Napoleon's drinking bleach. That's crazy. Well, they get certified, and they see Summer handing out posters, and Pedro starts to overheat and burn up, so he goes home for the day.
This is the first time I ever realized that it was because he was feeling the heat literally figuratively from Summer running for president. He's realizing like, oh, I'm not gonna win if Summer's gonna be
He
president.
sees everybody accepting her posters and pins,
panicking.
and yep.
Oh, I thought he was just sick.
No, he feels the heat.
I always thought that too.
He has like
so
a panic attack.
Oh,
That's why he feels hot.
that's clever.
Yeah, it's good. And now you get to see Kip tells Uncle Rico that he needs some time off from selling these Tupperware because his girlfriend's coming to town, his soulmate. LaFonda. And Napoleon goes to Pedro, who shows him that he shaved his head. So now they're wig shopping with Deb, and Napoleon and Deb's hands touch, reaching for a wig.
Very will they or won't they? Pedro looks so cool in his wig, too.
It's so swoopy.
Yeah, like he's a fucking Beatles member.
But now you get a montage of them hanging up presidential posters, making little circles with tape, like they always do the crash zoom on the lamest things. It's great. That's the satire in there. And after that, Napoleon sees a kid getting bullied in the hallway, so he gives him a keychain saying Pedro will offer protection. And like this support comes to actually fruition when the bully tries to steal his bike and Pedro's badass cousins roll up.
They says vote for Pedro on their lowrider.
Yeah, that's commitment. They vote for Pedro on a lowrider.
All they have to do is shake their head and the bully runs away.
Yeah, they're fucking scary.
Yeah, they might pull a piece on you.
True.
But now you get the long-awaited Kip meeting LaFonda at the bus stop. She comes off. She immediately runs to kiss him, but she's not how Kip described her at all. Sandy blonde hair, blue eyes.
Sandy blonde hair.
He forgot to mention that she's a 6'2" tall black woman.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
She does have sandy hair, which is just makes it very funny.
Oh my god.
They're so gross too, LaFonda and Kip.
Yeah.
It's clearly like Kip is the first woman Kip's ever met in his life, so he's just getting all of his sexual and otherwise fantasies out there.
Gross.
The nauseating scene of him rubbing his socked toe against her foot.
Yeah, his like tan sock. That makes it all the much worse.
Because she takes off his glasses and replaces it with a gold eagle chain.
That's so cool.
They're like sharing ice cream together and doing that foot thing, and it's gross. But Uncle Rico drives by Trisha and Summer to hand out some flyers to her mom and friends for natural breast enhancements, and they put those posters all over Napoleon's locker. He's pissed. So he throws these oranges at Uncle Rico's van, gets beat up by him, but escapes, and he takes the hardest fall of all time over this fence.
Over the fence. Right by Tina.
Wait, was that by Tina?
Yeah, she's like right there.
Oh.
Yeah, I think he's like running through her field to get home.
Oh,
yeah,
I didn't notice
get away.
That.
Yeah.
He fell straight on his face, but after that, Pedro made a summer piñata. People are smashing it, but the principal won't allow this, so he's making them take down all the promotional stuff. He can still run for president, but that's about it.
This is the low point of all the movie. Well, actually, this next little bit is too, because Uncle Rico tries to get Deb to buy his breast enhancement surgery after this, right?
The Bust Must Plus. Yeah, it looks like he's about to like hit on her or something in her studio, but he hands her that.
And he implies
she's
that
upset.
He says outright that Napoleon said you would be interested in this, in getting bigger tits. But she
calls him, tells him he's a shallow friend.
From a payphone in the middle of a field.
That's what I was just about to say. Literally in the middle of nowhere, there's just a payphone.
Yeah.
That's small town Idaho.
I guess.
Also, Napoleon, he went shopping. He bought a sword and a VHS of Dance Grooves.
Did he buy the sword?
I don't know. I hope he did.
Yeah.
But he goes home. He's dancing like crazy. Meets LaFonda after practicing some 6 dance moves. She gives him a tape. She's like, if you like dancing, here's this. And Kip comes into the house, and he's just so gangstered up now. He's got like a do-rag, all the chains, dressed in black, like everything.
Yeah, he's been transformed into the funniest looking gangster ever.
It's bad. Peace
out.
His
grills now, yeah.
But now you get Uncle Rico. He's also selling breast enhancements to Starla, Rex Kwando's jacked wife, when he comes home and beats the shit out of him.
Yep, that was one of my notes too. He just grabs these 2 random pots and puts them on her chest. He's like, it could be somewhere in this area scientifically.
He has no clue. He's just making shit up.
Yeah, they all do. Yeah, they're all stupid.
But
characters.
it's election time. It's election day. And it's speeches. Summer tells everyone they get like new soda, new cheerleader. What was the glitter gold bond lip?
Glitter Bell Boutique or something. I was guessing it's probably lip gloss.
But
in all the girls' locker rooms.
New cheerleader uniforms, and that they don't have to eat chimichangas every day. I'm sorry. She roasts the fuck out of Pedro, and she has the crowd eating out of the palm of her hands. And then she comes out to perform her skit. But Pedro and Napoleon weren't aware of a skit, so they're screwed.
Their skit is so funny. It's the Happy Hand skit minus Napoleon, because they obviously didn't invite him to be a part of it. In
cheerleader outfits.
And in the crowd, no one is reacting. In both skits, no one reacts initially except for Dawn, who's just sitting there like, ooh, my girl's so hot up there. Ooh, you do it, baby. And she's like doing sign language.
To the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
Bow, bow, bow now. Bow, now. But yeah, they're like, okay, that was good. And so Pedro just comes out. He realizes he's going to lose, doesn't want to be president. He goes out to little applause and tells them they can have protection with him as president. He has like FFA schedule stuff lined up, and that all their wildest dreams could come true if they vote for him. And he just somberly walks off. And Napoleon realizes what he has to do. He takes a cassette, hands it to the sound guy, and they plug it in for his skit. And you cue Canned Heat, the funkiest song of all time.
By Jamiroquai.
And he
is this the tape that
dance? I hope it's the one that LaFonda gave him. Yeah.
So the implication is that LaFonda's cousin's in Jamiroquai.
Did she say her cousin made that?
She said her cousin made the tape. Yeah.
Oh,
maybe she just made it, burned it. But yeah.
The way that I read it was it's the tape that she gave him.
I did too.
That makes it more poetic.
But he jams to the best fucking 4-minute dance scene you've ever seen.
It's the climax. It's interesting that
it's so anticlimactic.
Well, yeah, but it also is climactic in a way too. I tweeted a little bit ago. It reminded me of Beau Travail, which also ends in climax in a similar sort of dance motion. I don't know. Even today, I was struggling to make what to exactly get out of the ending of it, because he dances by himself. No one reacts until the very end. Dance is so goofy and so nerdy, but it's so sincere and such an expression of himself that I think the movie just has us believe that it wins everybody over in that fashion. And that even though he's a dorky nerd going up against Summer Wheatley, because he expressed his true self and had that courage, everybody loved him and transcended all that other bullshit of the high school movie, which I think is beautiful if that's the case, but it's hard to get a grasp on.
It's beautiful because, the only ones that react are Summer and Dawn. They're disgusted. But I did have this beautiful moment where Deb, you see her in the crowd, and she just smiles at his dancing. He keeps dancing. The music cuts off mid-dance. He runs off awkwardly, and the whole crowd erupts. They're baffled. Standing ovation. And Pedro walks in to see what his friend has done for him, and I fucking cried.
You did?
Yeah.
This is the first time I've ever cried at this film, and I cried for some reason.
No.
I felt it. It's beautiful.
When the Deb smile, and then Pedro coming back to see what Napoleon did for him. I don't know why, but I cried right next to you.
No.
He's so vulnerable, I think, in the moment too. Napoleon is. That's going up in front of the entire school when you're the de facto dork. That's putting the biggest target on yourself you could. If this doesn't go well, you're going to get your ass kicked by Dawn every single day, the rest of your life, and everybody in the whole town is going to know you as the weird dancing kid. But it works.
Well, and I think he knew that was a risk of happening, but he also did it for his friend.
Of course. And
that's why I cried.
Is about. Yes.
I've never cried in Napoleon Dynamite before, and it was crazy. I was like, my note here is, why am I crying? It's never happened before, but I did, and you get the fall out of it. Yeah, Napoleon's walking the streets when he sees Gangster Kip and LaFonda board a bus out of town.
It's his dance was so powerful, it literally changes everyone's lives and makes their dreams come true.
It's the
Because after that,
resolution of everything. Yeah.
Everybody gets what they need.
Grandma's back out of the hospital with Tina kissing her. Uncle Rico's back in the field doing his passion of throwing footballs on tape, but he has a broken arm. When this random woman, who is his ex-girlfriend, rides up on the bike and they smile and laugh, and
which is what
Pedro's
he really needs. He doesn't need to go back in time. He just wants someone to treat him like he's a star.
Yep. And Pedro's now president. Looks up to the sky, happy, as we cut to Napoleon playing tetherball alone. When Deb walks up on him smiling, they play a game of tetherball together with as the promise plays us out. It zooms out slowly when he wins and they high five. I cried again. I don't fucking know what was going on with me, but
because he finally has some people. He fits in. He has a couple of friends.
It's beautiful, and
against
they
all
high five.
odds.
That's the end, but there's an after credit scene that we mentioned. It's 2 months later. Kip and LaFonda are getting married, and LaFonda's family is so embarrassed when she says "I do" to Kip. The one guy has his head in his palm of his hand. He's upset, and as they say "I do," Kip writes this fire song.
He does.
Oh, I love technology.
It's great.
Not
Napoleon
as much as you see.
Back up.
Yeah, it's like, Napoleon, why is he gone? Rides up on a fucking wild stallion, leaning so far
back, and his hair is so poofy.
Did not know how to ride this horse, but he rides through the hills for them. He's like, I got you the stallion. They ride off, but not before she flicks her garter into the crowd, and Uncle Rico grabs it, sniffs it.
Yeah, that's nice.
And that is the end of Napoleon Dynamite.
This may be a surprise to you, but I don't like the after credit scene.
I'm not crazy about it either. The only thing I like is that fucking Kip song.
Kip song, you're right, is the best part of it. I don't like the rest of it. It's kind of, it leans too much into the zany humor, which I think Jared Hess himself does too. I wish the best parts of Napoleon Dynamite are like the slice of life reality stuff, and I think that takes it away a little bit.
I would agree,
but I won't hold it against it.
So that's the end of the movie. Lucas, do we need to pause since you paused your recording?
No, we do.
We do. Okay. Before we get into queers, we'll take a little break. We'll go to the bathrooms if we need. We'll eat pistachios, and we'll reconvene. All right?
Are we allowed to talk now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I just have to go to the bathroom.
And eat your pistachios.
What?
And eat your pistachios.
Those headphones hurt. Ow. I had to take my earrings out. No wonder Seth moves his here all the time.
Lucas, what are you singing?
Oh my god.
Your butt?
No, I popped my hip like 5 times. Ow.
It's because your cervix is opening.
Ew! Don't say that. It's also probably not true. I can't get out of this chair.
Lucas, what were you singing?
The song right after the climax. So good. All right, I should be ready whenever y'all are. Let me see how many quotes I have. I don't have that many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
That's still 11. Quite a bit.
Yeah, but Marina's right. The whole thing you can quote.
I struggled.
Because, like, I mean, some of them have been in my lexicon for almost 20 years now.
Mm-hmm.
They only said retarded once, so I was surprised.
Yeah, I did catch that one.
You guys are retarded. My kids say that
One
24/7.
retarded in the movie. I am also gonna go pee, and then we'll start.
I'm just standing here so you can go over the chair.
Well, I'll have to get back in. Hi, Caesar boy.
That was not an attractive look. I apologize, Lucas.
That's okay. I didn't see it just now.
With Marina.
You didn't put it on there.
I'll have to put with Robert for Ishtar.
For Icarus?
Yeah, for Icarus.
Ishtar is way better than any Icarus.
What is Ishtar?
It's Elaine May's final movie.
Elaine May.
She only did 4. This one landed her in movie jail. It's one of the biggest flops of all time, and it's glorious.
It's a musical.
Add a
Kind
bad
of.
pistachio in there.
Yeah, kind of a musical.
What?
They sing songs occasionally.
Ishtar's kind of a musical.
Oh. But what's it about?
These 2 wannabe folk singers get booked in Morocco, so they go there, and while they're there, Cold War antics happen. They get caught up in an international conspiracy.
Huh.
Dustin Hoffman, Warren Beatty, Elaine May. It's brilliant.
Yeah. Never seen it.
Oh, we'll see it.
Oh, we will. With Robert.
He'll get it, I'm sure.
All right.
He's joining the elite list of returning guests.
Yeah.
Oh, he's probably so excited.
Oh, he totally is. Ugh.
And
He's
this is
gonna
like a
freak.
way more normal movie.
Than when Even Doors
It's
started
pretty,
as well.
yeah, Ishtar's a pretty straight comedy, honestly, in about every facet.
He probably thought he would never be invited back because he thought he did so bad.
I thought he
I
did
was like,
great.
I
so
loved it.
apologetic for getting
I know
drunk
Seth
and
is
was
too.
like,
He hated it.
I hope he gets equally as drunk.
I
this
hated
time.
it so much. I couldn't even listen to it.
Yeah, but he was also kicking the table the whole time.
Yeah, that's true. That's the main reason.
That was the hard part of listening. Just drunk Robert in general was hilarious. When he gave out his phone, he was like, "I'm trying to sell a truck. My number's 406-659-3086." Like, Robert, don't give out your personal.
He forgot
info
what
like
we're
that.
doing. Yeah.
It was awesome. All right, get your phone for quotes, honey.
You'll have to ask him if he sold it.
Right? Did you sell your truck, Robert? All right, we'll give another 5 seconds after the clap. We're good to go, okay? You ready, Lucas?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, play. Frickin' Caesar.
Yeah.
Banging his
Frickin'
collar
Caesar.
against the metal. Frickin' Caesar. It's quote time, guys. I've got 21. Lucas has 11. How many do you have?
4, 5, 6, 7. I only have 9 because once again, this whole movie is a quote. I couldn't pick things.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do our halves. You take your first half. You do 5. Lucas, you'll do 6. I'll do 11. I hope a lot of mine are taken off. What?
Sound like you're underwater to me.
Did Caesar do something with that cord?
You might have bumped it.
Hello.
Now it sounds better. Wait, say something else.
Hello?
Now it's good. I don't know what that was.
Sweet.
That was weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Marina, start yours off. Do half of yours.
Okay, my first one is just all the times that he says, gosh. Which I
Iconic.
just think it's funny. Okay, my next one is when he is talking to Pedro about his bike. And he's just like,
Yeah.
You got shocks, pegs, lucky. You ever taken off any sweet jumps? And then there's like
That's
the
'cause
whole
they're
jump scene.
like oversized kids, yeah. And
Yeah.
when you're like seniors in high school or whatever, you're not like, see the shocks on your bike, but they are.
And then my next one is just right after they do their sweet jump, and he says, "You got like 3 feet of air that time." It was like 3 inches.
He gets like 6 inches of air that time.
He just descended off the ledge, yeah.
Yeah. Excuse me. How many am I supposed to do? 5? Okay. My next one is the grandma when she's talking to Kip and Napoleon about how she's going out of town.
Damn.
And Napoleon's just like
What are we supposed
being
to eat?
annoying, like throwing a fit. Yeah, what are we supposed to eat? And she says, "Make yourself a dang quesadilla," which I had to quote because
Iconic.
my family used to just say that to each other all the
Make
time.
yourself a dang
Oh, yeah.
quesadilla?
Yeah.
Mine did too.
Yeah,
With the
all
2
the
L's,
time.
pronouncing the L's, yeah.
Yeah, classic. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, my last one is just when Napoleon goes outside with the casserole to feed Tina, and he just says, "Tina, you fat lard, come get some dinner."
Also
and he's just
iconic.
like throwing the casserole at her, and he's like, "Eat the food."
I like fat lard because it's a double on top, like it's redundant to say both of those.
Fat is lard.
It's a very classic quote.
Yeah.
You're hitting the
Lucas.
mainstream.
Yeah.
My first one that we've talked a little bit about is current event. He gets up there and lies about it. He just says, "Last week, Japanese scientists placed explosive detonators at the bottom of Loch Ness to blow Nessie out the water. Sir Kurt Godfrey of the Nessie Alliance summoned the help of local wizards to cast a protective spell on the lake and its residents." And the teacher's like, "All right, that's very nice, Napoleon. Sit down."
To keep peace with our underwater ally.
Yeah.
It's
We
so
talked about
stupid.
this one too. When he meets Deb for the first time, she's like, "Yeah, here's a glamour shot. You could look like this," and you know, this is a girl. But that's all that quote is.
I get my hair cut at the Cutting Corral.
When Rico shows up, he says, "I got to babysit you guys," and he goes, "You don't have to stay with us. We're not babies." Kip is like 32 years old. And Kip's like, "I don't mind if you stay."
Gibbs, I don't mind.
And then last two for now. When Napoleon shows up just to his house while they're talking about the Tupperware, Rico says, "Let's go, Kipper. I think we should take this somewhere private." So they just go to the bowling alley to bowl.
We talked about that while
Go
you
to
used
a
the
public
bathroom.
place.
Yeah. And then last one for now is Kip and Rico talking, and Rico goes, "We need something to make us look official." Kip just goes, "How about some gold bracelets?" Like that
The least official thing of all time.
Yeah. So that's my notes.
How about some gold bracelets? Okay. Starting off, can you bring me my chapstick? No, Napoleon. But my lips hurt real bad. Classic.
Gets him from the nurse, and he's like, "I don't want to hurt you, sicko."
It's disgusting. I took a couple from the principal talking to Pedro. He's like, "You do understand English. It's not that complex." When he first meets Pedro, the first things he says to him.
And gives him pretty complex directions.
He does. It's down the hall, take a right, past the cafeteria to the left on the library,
Down
and then
the
you're
stairs.
down the stairs near the gym. There's your locker. It's like, okay. Hello, would you like to look like this? That's a girl. This one is just fucking Kip. It'd be nice if you could pull me into town. It's so stupid. This is at the Rex Kwando Dojo. Look what I'm wearing, people. You think anybody wants a roundhouse to the face while I'm wearing these bad boys?
Forget about it.
He's wearing American flag jump pants. He's so fucking cool.
Well, that was in response to saying, like, you think I got where I am by looking like Peter Pan over here? Talking about Napoleon with, like, a helicopter shirt on.
This is when Napoleon, they're sitting on the bleachers talking about who they're going to ask out. He tells them about his girlfriend, hands the glamour shot to Pedro, and Pedro says, "I like her bangs." And she has no bangs.
Brilliant.
I like her bangs. It took me like 3 hours to finish the shading on your upper lip. That's amazing. Mm-hmm. This is one when they're handing out the keychains and they're saying vote for Pedro, and it's Napoleon Pedro going back. He's like, vote for Pedro, vote for Pedro. Vote for Pedro. And he goes, vote for me? And he's like, vote for Pedro. Yeah. Vote for me. Vote for me.
Vote for me. Vote for Pedro.
A really creepy quote when Uncle Rico makes a move on Deb when he doing the Bus Plus. He goes, "You've got a such soft face, complemented with a soft body." I was like, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
don't say that."
So creepy.
That's why I won Best Movie Sleazebag or whatever it was nominated
Yeah.
for.
And then my last one for right now is Deb when she's trying to sell the shit at the front door. She goes, "Was there anyone else home? I'm trying to earn money for college." And Kip from the background just goes, "Your mom goes to college." I was like, "What?"
I've quoted that a lot in my life too.
I say your
Yeah.
mom goes to college a lot. Like, why the fuck did he say that? It's so mean.
And is it really mean to say your mom goes to college? That's just like a your mom joke.
Well,
He thinks
why
it's
would
so
Kip?
funny.
Why would of all people Kip say that?
He's
Out
a
of the
fucking
blue?
shitty dude, yeah.
Okay, finish yours off, buddy.
All right. This one is from when Napoleon goes over to Deb to tell her that her stuff is in his locker. And they're like in the cafeteria eating lunch. So he walks over and he just starts the conversation by saying, "I see you're drinking 1%. Is that because you think you're fat? Because you're not. You could be drinking whole if you wanted to."
See, that's like a on the spectrum thing to say.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't. He's like, "Hey, remember me? I'm Napoleon. You left your no. I see you're drinking 1%. Oh, great, an astute observation."
Yeah, and she just kind of stares at him with sandwich on her lip.
Where's your locker? Mouth full.
Yeah.
She is such a dork.
Oh, my next one is when Napoleon and Pedro are talking. I don't really know how this starts, but they're just talking and Napoleon says, "I don't even have any skills, like nunchuck skills, bow hunting skills, computer hacking skills. Girls only want boyfriends who have great skills."
It's true.
And
Pipe
then
lane skills.
when we were watching the movie, Brandon was like, earlier in the movie, he talked about how gangs wanted him because of his
His
nunchuck
nunchuck
skills.
Yeah. He's pretty good with the bow staff.
Yeah. Okay, I only have two more. My next one is there's a scene where Napoleon is just like beating up Kip in the living room. And Kip just goes, "Napoleon, let go of me. I think you're bruising my neck meat." Like when he has him in his
Yeah, when he ripped
armhole.
off his mole.
What?
He
He's like,
ripped
I
off
think
his
you ripped
mole
my
after that.
mole. Really?
Oh,
Is
I
it
must have
bleeding?
missed
He's like,
that.
"Is
A
it bleeding
little.
right now?" He's like, "A little bit." He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
I must have missed that. Hi, Louie. Okay, my very last one is when Deb goes to the tetherball at the very end to like kind of make up with Napoleon because she had been mad at him for supposedly saying that stuff to
Beautiful
Uncle
quote.
Rico. And so earlier in the movie, Napoleon is like, "I don't have anything to give her unless she likes fish." And it's just kind of like randomly said and then moves on. And then when Deb comes to tetherball, he says, "I caught you a delicious bass."
It's beautiful.
And then they're all better.
Yeah. It is still a little out of left field, but I like the continuity. And everything works.
"I caught you a delicious bass" should not be a beautiful quote, but it is.
It is. That's this movie. I think I've got 5 left, maybe 4. We'll see. This one's from Uncle Rico. He said because he's so nostalgia 80s bound, but he just said if Coach would have put me in fourth quarter, we'd have taken state, no doubt. Which makes it he was not even the quarterback; he was the backup quarterback.
Yeah.
Ostensibly the third string quarterback.
So. No doubt in my mind, I could throw a football over the mountains,
and then everything would change. When Napoleon discovers the time machine, he like tests it out, and Kip goes, "You ready?" And he says, "Yeah, hold on. Forgot to put in the crystals."
Forgot to put in the crystals.
Yeah.
It's just like salt.
At the supermarket, when he's treating Napoleon poorly like a child, Napoleon brings over markers, and then Rico goes, "Not the 24-pack. You're just gonna have to mix and match." And then Napoleon just goes, "Say it so the whole world can hear." God.
I didn't know if that was markers or what it was. I just saw an assortment of colors.
Markers.
I think it was markers, which is just another very childlike thing.
Yeah. Um, from the principal talking to Pedro, he says, Pedro, smashing in the face of a piñata that resembles Summer Wheatley is a disgrace to you, me, and the entire gem state. It's a disgrace to Idaho. In her racist speech, Summer goes, who wants to eat chimichangas all year long?
Not me.
See, with me, it will be summer all year long.
Over summer, I love chimichangas.
And my last quote is from Pedro. When he's trying to get people to vote for him, he says, I think it would be good to have some holy santos in the hallway brought to the high school to guard the hallway and to bring us good luck. El Santo Niño de Atocha is a good one. My Aunt Cocha has seen
My Aunt Cocha.
His Aunt Cocha saw a saint, and it'd be good to put that saint in the high school. It's a good sell point. That's all my quotes.
Okay, you guys took a shit ton because I see you're drinking 1%. Make yourself a dang quesadilla. We did this one earlier, but I'm Rex, founder of the Rex Kwando self-defense system. After 1 week with me and my JoJo, you'll be prepared to defend yourself with the strength of a grizzly, the reflexes of a puma, and the wisdom of a man. He just chokes out a woman. You want to make a bet how much I could throw the football over those mountains? Coach would have put me in fourth quarter, caught you a delicious bass, got like 3 feet of air that time. This is the principal talking to Pedro again when he's telling him about the piñata, but he goes, look, Pedro, I don't know how they do things down in Juarez, but here in Idaho, we have a little something called pride. Understand? It's like, what the fuck?
But they do it all the time.
We do it all the time down in Mexico. Let's see here. What else? Stay at home and eat all the freaking chips, Kip. Napoleon be chatting online with babes all day. Besides, we both know that I'm training to become a cage fighter. Like, does the cage fighter thing tie in with eating the chips?
It doesn't. That's also very, like, every kid at Mission says they want to be a cage fighter.
Really?
Yeah, that's like the #1 occupation to be in the world right now, is to be a UFC fighter.
Huh. John Jones.
He did it while I was asleep.
He did. While Marina was asleep. Did you hear me on the couch last night? I was just sitting there and I go,
no.
I was watching one of the fights. I go, I need some fucking Cheetos, like out loud. I went and poured myself Cheetos.
Hell yeah.
Nope. I was so asleep.
All right, here's my last 3. This is Pedro doing the FFA thing, like we already mentioned. They're pretty good, except for one little problem. That little guy right there, he is nipple number 5. A good dairy cow should have like 4. Well done.
For the event.
This one is one that I needed the subtitles to actually know the full quote, but it's Lyle when he's catching all the fucking chickens during their job, and he goes, over there in that pig pen, couple and you're like, what the fuck did he just say? Over there in that pig pen, I found a couple of Shoshone arrowheads.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool, but you can't
I got him first time around.
No way. I pick up.
Sounds like my grandpa.
I always heard like over there with those chickens, I found a couple arrowheads, is what I thought. So it's pretty close, but. And then my last one is a Marina quote. It's when he puts all the fucking tater tots in his pocket. Marina goes, "What's a pocket biscuit? Pocket tots."
Yeah. So when I was little, when we would go camping and stuff, we'd go like snow machining and stuff, and my dad and my uncle and everybody would always have pocket beers, and they'd just like put cans of beer in their pocket to like have whenever we stop. And then one time I really wanted to like bring something with me, so I put biscuits in my coat pocket, and ever since then now we always joke about pocket biscuits. So when you put the tater tots in his pocket,
it's pocket biscuit.
Perfect.
It speaks to the infantilization of Napoleon a little bit.
Yeah.
I think. It's a very childlike move, as evidenced by you.
That's quotes. It's ratings time. Lukas, you're starting us off again since you're a savant with Napoleon Dynamite, apparently. This is thermometer critics percentage.
81.
Marina?
63.
Holy shit, you guys tied it to 72.
No way. Our first ever
Wow.
tie. Do we get half a point each?
You each get half a point.
Jesus.
You said that, and I was like, wait a minute. I was mathing over here. Lukas, audience score and tomato meter, also percentage.
I'm gonna say 85 on this one, bitch.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the audience is pretty high. Wait, what did you just say? 85?
Yep.
Okay, I'm not trying to be like Seth,
Oh my god.
but I want to
No.
say 87.
Oh, okay. It's better than 86.
Way better.
Lukas is our winner. It's a 74.
I thought it'd be
Okay,
higher.
I know it's a divisive a little bit.
And then we're going to IMDb. Metascore, this is critics out of 100.
5.9.
59, okay.
6.2.
62, okay.
70?
70. Our winner is Lukas. It's a 64.
Ooh, glad I snuck up in there.
Or else it would have been almost
Feel
a
it.
tie.
I
I
can
think
feel it.
Caesar needs to go out.
And then last is audience score out of 10.
6.0. 6.1.
7.5.
Winner today is Marina.
Yeah.
It's a 6.9. You guys were right around it each time. So, critics, 72 and 64 for a 68 average. And audience is 69 and a 74 for a 71.5 average. Marina, this is your movie. What are you giving this? John Lasagna?
Solid 10 out of 10. I love this movie so much. I think it's so funny. It's like genuinely just good. Like, I mean, we all know I don't really watch movies, but this movie is like short enough that I think I would watch it at any time. And it's funny and it holds my attention.
On the 5 movies that you've been on so far, Hottie and the Naughty, which you haven't seen, Willy Wonka, Cat in the Hat, this, and 50 Shades of Grey. Where does this land?
This is probably top.
Over Willy Wonka?
Yeah. This movie is so good.
Okay.
It's so funny.
Okay. Lukas?
A perfect 10 is kind of a rookie score, Marina. Or a Seth score.
I mean, we all know I don't like movies, don't rate movies, don't watch movies, so whatever.
I mean, with that said, I'm going to go with a 9.9. I'm right next
Fuck
to
you.
That's exactly why I did that, yeah. I'm going to echo a lot of what Marina was saying. It is incredibly funny. I particularly resonate with like the cinema verite stuff of here, of the low budget, where it's just doing character studies. We're getting as true to real life as you can almost get for a small town rural movie. And they do it hilariously as well. That might be my favorite type of movie in general. If you can nail it, the close to life, the Boyhood type, the Florida Project type life. I think this falls in here, but it's also funny as well. So I think it's a 9.9.
You guys were higher on this film than I was. I was racking my brain around it. So it's still a great movie. I'm not quite as high as you guys are. I'm a 9.8.
We did it all.
For an average of 9.9. This movie fucking rocks. Like, I can't say anything else. It's not coming of age, but like it almost is in a way, bridging satire with almost a surrealism form of comedy that hadn't been really seen much before up to this point. Lukas, you and I have put it on our Mount Rushmore of 2000s comedies. There was Superbad and The Hangover and The 40-Year-Old Virgin are our top 4. And
probably better than those.
It's at least, I think 40-Year-Old is at least 4 on there. This is fighting with probably Superbad for number 1 of the 2000s decade. So like, I
think it's a better movie than Superbad, honestly.
That's close. This is pinnacle comedy. They happened to take this short film that they did and make everything right about it. Somehow the dryness, the small town feel, it's a masterpiece. So that's where we're at. Let's hear some reviews. We've got 4 critic reviews. Peter Travers at Rolling Stone says Hess and his terrific cast Heater is geek perfection. Make their own kind of deadpan hilarity. You'll laugh till it hurts. Sweet.
Oh, that's nice.
It is nice. Next is by, I don't have a person, but it's by the Christian Science Monitor. They say, a refreshing new take on the overused teen comedy genre. And they said that the film may not make you laugh out loud. It's too sly and subtle for that. But it will have you smiling every minute and often grinning widely as its weirded out charm.
It's good.
Oh, fuck, it's Seth!
I wanted to say hi real quick.
They
Hi,
can't
Seth.
hear you, but Seth
Hi,
says hi.
Seth.
Hi.
Seth, what do you rate Napoleon Dynamite?
10.
Yeah,
A
that's
10?
what I gave it.
A 10, another 10, a 9.9, and a 9.8 to round it out.
Awesome.
Wait,
Our
I
most
just heard
universally beloved
Alex
movie.
come home. We should ask her what
Yeah,
she
Alex
rates
is
it.
here too. Ask
What do you
Alex.
rate Napoleon
Okay,
Dynamite,
goodbye,
Alex?
guys.
Bye, Seth.
Bye, Seth.
Bye, Seth. 8.0. She says 8.0.
She's
Terrible.
wrong.
They're mad.
I'm not mad. An eight's a pretty fair score, but yeah. Apparently, Christian Science Monitor liked this. I put it in here as like a joke.
Good for
but
them. Great review.
Next one is by Michael Atkinson at the Village Voice. They say an epic, magisterially observed pastiche on all American geekhood, flooring the competition with a petulant shove.
Good review.
Right? From the Village Voice? I don't know who the fuck they are, but they nailed it.
That guy.
And
Big
last
Rog?
but not least is Big Rog, Roger Ebert
Rog.
of the Chicago Sun-Times. He says, the movie makes no attempt to make Napoleon likable, and it contains a kind of studied stupidity that sometimes passes as humor. 1.5 out of 4 stars.
Oh, he didn't get it.
Boo.
He did not get it.
Big Rog. I
The
can see
thing
how
is-
if you just look at the humor part of it, it couldn't hit. You know what I mean?
He's the most acclaimed critic of all time. He shouldn't be looking at just the humor.
I think he reviews 3 things a day. I think he might have got lost in the sauce for this one.
We should have him re-review it from the grave.
Yeah.
Okay. And now we've got user reviews. We've got some returners. First off is a little songbird. May 16th, 2010. She says, Napoleon Dynamite by all means is not a 5-star masterpiece. And it may be to everybody's taste, but I was surprised at how much I liked it, even with its problems. I can also say I do think there are much worse movies out there. Disaster movie, epic movie, Home Alone 4, The Cat in the Hat, and Super Babies, Baby Geniuses 2 are much worse than this film. What I did like about Napoleon Dynamite was that it was unique, funny, quirky, and original. Where it is not quite so good is in the episodic story structure and some of the supporting characters being one-dimensional. Napoleon Dynamite does have a refreshingly distinctive time warp look that recalls the style-challenged 80s, though, and that was refreshing in itself. The script is good and the direction is pretty solid, as are the performances. Overall, not perfect, but an amusing, quirky, and unique movie. 7 out of 10.
How is it even being grouped with those other ones?
With The Cat in the Hat and
Disaster
Disaster movie and The Cat in the Hat, honey.
Mm-hmm. I
Terrible.
remembered she didn't like it.
I just put that in there as a recall for Devin and Marina. One of my memories on my phone in my photo app was you, me, and Devin posing for a photo for The Cat in the Hat. So next is by MT Kurtner,
Sure.
August 4th, 2019. They say, magnum opus, perfection, sent by God to undeserved man. 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not wrong.
Next is by SGOJKOB, Jacob, December 21st, 2004. They say, I get and enjoy offbeat humor, Wes Anderson stuff, etc. How anyone could make a case for this movie being an example of that is far beyond my comprehension. I found this movie to be the worst I've ever seen, higher actually than Giggly, and I get the jokes, but I just thought they were terrible. I have a great sense of humor, and while I wasn't a nerd in high school, I can appreciate most humor. This wasn't funny. This was pointless. This was the cinematic equivalent of excrement. There's not a chance in hell that I will ever watch this again. In fact, I hope to never speak of it again. I just feel that as a public servant, I need to tell you how absolutely horrendous Napoleon Dynamite is. 1 out of 10.
Well, he likes Wes Anderson, so we know how
Yeah.
much his brain is firing on all cylinders.
I
Not a
like
lot.
that we brought up Wes Anderson at this point. You said that there are correlations to it, but this did it better. And they were like, people say Wes Anderson, but this is a bad take on it.
He's a dipshit.
I put this in here just so you could roast Wes Anderson, but since we brought him
We
up, it made
did
it
that.
even better. Next is by Gavin6942. On August
This guy.
11th, 2010, they say, I'm calling this film the smartest dumb comedy ever made because the humor is all really stupid, one-liners, absurd events, and situations with characters that really are not your typical movie heroes, but it's clear the people behind the film are not dumb at all. There's a hidden gem in this film. The problem may be that the smartness is not on the surface. The first time I saw the film, I thought it was lame. The second time, I loved it, and the third time, loved it even more. I showed it to a friend once who disliked it, but I wonder if she tried it again and saw the genius. 7 out of 10.
This is a movie, and I've heard multiple people tell me this in real life, and I agree, it gets funnier every time you watch it. Every single time, it linearly gets funnier. And I've only ever seen that with The Big Lebowski as well. That's the only other one where it's like that for me. But I think it's an absolutely true fact. This movie gets better upon rewatches.
It is absurdist, but yes, every time it grows on me. I liked it the first time I watched it anyway, but
me too.
Do you like it the first time?
Yeah. Well, yes. Yes. The first time I watched the whole thing, I did. The very first time, I was like a kid and I only saw the dance scene, so I just thought it was weird and left. But the first time I watched the whole thing through.
Yeah. Okay. 3 more reviews. This next one's by Murph0613 on January 11th, 2005.
Fresh baby.
Way back then, they say, will this movie become a cult classic? You bet. I'm saddened that I am now too old mentally to be able to find the humor in this, but I'm heartened that someone is making our kids laugh. They need that laugh of their own. The movie has it. Never fear, if you're older than 25 and you found this movie funny, that just shows that you're young at heart, or maybe emotionally young. I don't know. There's nothing wrong with that. Laugh hard and loud. That's what the creators of this movie wanted you to do. All that being said, I give this film a 4. Low rating to be sure, but then I'm one of those old people who just didn't get it. I'm so glad that there are those of you out there that did. I pray for my future, as you are probably the ones who will care for me when I'm old. 4 out of 10.
Wow, what an optimistic review.
I love that review.
So sweet.
As low as the rating is, they appreciate that there's a beauty
nice
in there.
Review.
I'm
glad other people like it.
Penultimate is by Boys Know 06. July 21st, 2006, they say, Napoleon Dynamite is a serious contender for most boring film ever. Its only noteworthy scene is a dance routine that lasts about 1 minute. Dynashite. 1 out of 10.
Good pun. Good pun. Cat almost destroyed my recording. We're okay.
Ginger always does that. The dance scene lasted longer than 1 minute, too. It's quite a lengthy dance scene.
It's purposefully long, yeah.
Yeah. And the last one is by Bevo. 13678.
He's gonna hate it.
March 30th, 2020. He says, I like the funny characters and the vote for Pedro t-shirt. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, Bevo.
Bevo.
He did it.
So that ends it this week. Are you recommending this film, Lucas?
Yeah, everyone of our age has seen it, but everybody else taken the beauty of today's modern cinema realists.
It's amazing. Marina?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. Seth's probably doing it. Alex, who gave it an 8, is probably recommending it. Devin, I'm not sure about. Probably no, because we said we are recommending, but deep down in his heart, he might recommend it. So this is Napoleon Dynamite. Watch it. Love it. Lean into it, please. And that's going to end it this week. Thanks, Marina, for being on.
Thanks for having me.
Suggesting this fire movie. And next week, Lucas, do you know what's up next week?
Mm-mm.
I've got a whiteboard in my office now of the list of the rest. Next week we are doing potentially the cult classic Good Bad
The
movie,
Room.
The Room.
Wow. We gotta get that one under our belt.
Yeah, for sure. It's a
Wanna be
must.
real bad movie podcast.
And then we'll finish off the month with Monster Trucks,
Okay, I'm digging
an
it.
animated movie written by a literal 5-year-old.
I'm digging it.
So that's gonna end it. We hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, like all of our Facebook and Instagram posts that Marina posts.
Sorry, I'm slacking. You should probably get a new person.
We hope you enjoyed. Send Lukas some recipes and some memes, and with that, we'll see you guys next week.
Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Jinjo.
Okay. The dogs really need to go outside, so
Jinjo.
I gotta go.
Catch.
Jinjo.
You need to go outside.
Jinjo. Oh my
The good boy.
Yes.
See you, Marina. Bye.
Okay. You gotta go outside. Come on. I know.
Okay. I gotta go too. See you, Brando.
Bye, Marina.
Bye.